You betcha.
The pass to Miller outside three. Good.
Big block by Olsen.
Fryer in the paint. Now to Holzer. Left corner three. Bang! Bang! Oh!
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
It's our Irie Insurance pregame show in Class A EDC boys basketball here tonight from Fargo Davies High School. The number 2 Eagles square off with the Packers. Fargo Davies at 12-1 in the season. West Fargo at 10-3. And for all of your insurance requests, visit Irie Insurance online at irieins.com. Last time these two teams met back on December the 21st, Davies won at West Fargo 84-75. Mason Clabo in that game, 22 points, 4 rebounds, and Carlson added 18 points and 2 rebounds for West Fargo in the loss for Nick Carlson. Now, speaking of Nick, he rolled his ankle yesterday in practice, so he will not be on the floor here tonight for West Fargo, which means someone else needs to be in the starting rotation, and that's Vode Sharif, the 6'4 senior forward. We'll talk more with head coach Anna Polcheski about that on our Irie Insurance pregame show, and also we'll sit down with head coach of Fargo Davies. That is Bart Manson. But again, it's the Packers and the Eagles. Quick timeout. We come back on our Irie Insurance pregame show. We'll sit down with West Fargo head coach Anna Polcheski. That's next. Chase Miller with you on the call. Reggie Funk handling the camera. We're about 20 minutes away from the opening tip, just under 20 minutes away from the opening tip, closer around 7:45 here between the Eagles and the Packers. It's EDC Boys Hoops tonight here on your live event.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Coach's Corner continues here on our Irie Insurance pregame show. EDC boys basketball tonight between the West Fargo Packers and the Fargo Davies Eagles. With us now is Adam Polcheski, head coach of the West Fargo Packers. And Adam, you know, you look at your squad and back-to-back games here where you knew probably you're going to get tested with West Fargo, Cheyenne, and now here Fargo Davies on the schedule. What do you take from your 5-point game against Cheyenne? You clawed back, got it down to 3. What do you hope to take from that game in terms of the last 4 or 5 minutes maybe and try to apply it here against a good Eagle team tonight?
Our guys responded to that deficit kind of like I expected. We're a tough group of kids. We're experienced, and we're never going to quit. So I love that about our guys, and that's what makes it fun to coach with them. But as far as where we got to get better is we got to start sharing the ball. We dribble too much. I think we're leading the EDC in dribbling, which is not a good statistic in basketball. So we got to try to share the ball, get it side to side, get it swung. And hopefully we can get some more wide open threes and some layups and get to the free throw line as much as possible.
You know, during this time of the month, right, it's February, it's getting a little lighter out. You start seeing the end of the schedule. You know that tournament time's coming up around the corner. From a coach's perspective, though, during your tenure at West Fargo, what are some traits that you want to see from both individuals, but also as a team that makes it tough to go up against West Fargo, whether it's, you know, guarding a Hagerly or a Limke or just, you know, 5 guys playing in unison? What are some things that come to your mind that you would like to see your team play well? What do they do, Adam?
I already mentioned it before, but we want to be sharing the ball and running offense pretty well. Whether the shot goes in or not is irrelevant, but making those good decisions and really grinding down in the half court on our offense. Defensively, just being stalwart in the half court. Our press should be coming around, but it's hit or miss. And tonight, Davies is really good. So we'll see what happens when we put the pressure on them because Claybo and Machenbaker and Brown can all dribble and run and shoot and do things. So it's going to be challenging for us tonight against those guys. But in general, you want to have your guys not just playing for the tournament time and getting better, but being in the moment too. people start looking down the road. They start forgetting where they're at and where their feet are. So you need to have your guide, whether it be a practice or a game, being in the moment and living that moment, getting as much out of it. Because for my seniors, they're never going to get this day back. It's gone, and they'll never play another game like it again. So they need to make the most of it.
Mentioned about making the most of it, maybe a guy who came off the bench against West Fargo, Cheyenne, Fode Sharif, and a senior as well. He definitely made the most of his minutes against the Mustangs. What have you seen from his maturation and growth with the Packers this season?
No, it's been really fun watching Fode play. He came to us, we didn't really know who he was, and then he has had the skill, but the biggest thing was he just listened. He looked you in the eye and said, all right, I'll do that, coach. And he's tried everything we've asked him to so far, and he's trying to keep building good habits to make him into a solid basketball player. And he's done some things that we really needed, especially on the rebounding end, where he's put up some big rebounding numbers, has multiple games of double-digit rebounds to go with a really good scoring year. But the rebounding end is where we really need him, and he's done that with tremendous effort over the first half of the year.
From your point of view, final thing for Adam before we let you go, is Fargo Davies a pick your poison type of a team? Because you mentioned three guys already with Ian, you got Claybo, you got Raymond Brown, and that's before you maybe talk about a Van Dam if he can get some rebounds or just add another guy that comes off the bench. From a coaching perspective, where do you start, so to speak, when it's Fargo Davies?
You got to start with ball pressure and not allowing penetration. That's the biggest thing. If you can keep them all on the outside, then you got a better chance than if they're getting to the basket. That's what got us the first time, is they got to the basket. And then when we came to help, we helped late, and the driving kick three was there. They did a good job executing on that stuff. So you got to start by not allowing penetration, and then you got to score. If you can't score, you can't beat Davies. So you got to learn how to score against those guys, and you got to match Bart point for point some days.
Adam, as always, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here in another rivalry game tonight in the EDC.
All right. Thanks, Chase.
Adam Palczewski, head coach of the Packers, will continue on our iRe Insurance pregame show. After this, we'll sit down with Bart Manson, head coach of Fargo Davies.
Going in ESCS, I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. I for sure will look back at all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
First week of college, I can't tell you how many friends I've made. It's a family, you know what I mean? Like every time I go to a meeting, like everyone knows my name. They're always kind to me. I love it. I can't explain how much I love it here. My name is Junior, and I'm here for my future.
If you want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community, then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, and Castleton. Or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
With us now on our iRe Insurance pregame show is Bart Manson, head coach of the Fargo Davies Eagles, as we get ready for this boys basketball contest here in a moment from Davies High between them and West Fargo. And Bart, first and foremost, nice to see you here. And also, I know it's the month of February, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty here in the regular season. And obviously your teams, since you've been at Davies, I know efficient. People think that you can put the ball in the hoop a lot, but also maybe one thing that's been getting overlooked this year is how well you play defensively. Second in the conference at 62 points a night. What have you liked from your squad on that side of the floor this season, Bart?
Well, what I think is, to me, the most impressive thing is that, us scoring offensively means that there's going to be more possessions in a game too than maybe some other teams who are sitting at that same kind of mark of where we're at right now. But I just think that, we've really have tried to focus on this year is defensively of making sure that we can keep people in front of us and make them take tough shots. And that's kind of been our motto, all year long is, to limit teams to one shot and out and make them take a tough shot. And, if we can do those things and rebound the ball, then, most nights, we'll have opportunities to win those games.
The one thing about your opponent here in the West Fargo Packers, you obviously know Limke, Hagerly. They were part of last year's state tournament run. Fode Sharif is having a nice season as well. Then you add in a Nick Carlson. So they have weapons as well, Bart. How have they changed from your point of view, or from the last time you played them, in late December?
Well, personnel wise, they don't, for both of us, we don't really have anybody new that has been added into the lineups or nothing, and so they, those kids seems like have been playing for a lot of years, Limke and Hagerly, I think they both played as sophomores, and Hagerly played as a freshman also, so they're experienced veterans, and and then you Parker Nelson and played a lot the last couple of years too. And then Nick had was their state tournament kind of hero a little bit, last year. I know they had some but he kind of gave them that, guy that they weren't expecting to do some things. And so these guys are all experienced. They're having a great year. They're always very scary because what they're capable of doing and how they can play. And Adam does a really good job of coaching that team. And West Fargo, you could have to go back and look at this, and I should look at it too, but we have typically split with them a lot, and they beat us over here and we beat them at their place. And so it's really weird, but last year, same thing. They beat us here early in the year, and then we beat them twice at their place. This year we went over there and we beat them at their place early in the year. And, hopefully they don't beat us here tomorrow night. But those are kind of things that, scare me a little bit, is that they do play well here.
Bart, when you take a look at some of your guys, I obviously know Ian, Northern State's having a phenomenal senior season. Mason Claybo just continues to, have headlines, but maybe a guy that maybe flies under the radar at times, Raymond Brown. What does he bring, from his point of view? What does he add to the team, and what has he brought to this, version of Fargo Davies basketball?
Well, Ray is, he's our, third scorer now, and for a while, it was kind of like, it was just Mason and Ian, and we were looking for some other guys to kind of step up and score. And I think over the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks here now, Ray has been not only maybe our leading scorer, but, I think he's actually led us in scoring twice during that stretch. And so we need that from him, but we also need Ray's, him and Caden Brothflat guard the two best guys every night. And those guys are, instrumental in us being a very good defensive team. And so Ray, he's going to have Limke, I'm sure they already know that. And so there's no secrets there. And he's got to, do a good job. And Ray has been just a unbelievable defender for us last year and this year again. And this year now he's picked up his scoring. And so it's been very nice to see.
Final thing for you, Bart, just because of Mother Nature, you're not the only team. I know everyone's dealt with it this year, whether it's sickness or weather with practices or games get moved around. Does this kind of have a little EDC tournament flavor to it with West Fargo? Now you play Cheyenne less than 24 hours after this one gets done, then boom, you're back at it again on Monday for another game. From a coaching standpoint, does this kind of have a tournament flavor to it?
Yeah, when we were looking at rescheduling those dates, I was like Saturday, and everyone's like, well, it's, Cheyenne and West Fargo. I don't care. We got to learn how to play back to back, and you got to, be able to go and do those things, especially if you get in the state tournament. You're going to play a tough game on Thursday night, and you're going to have to play a tough game on Friday night. And, if you want to even get into the state title game, and so you got to play the best, you got to beat the best. And, and obviously this weekend we get a chance to play Cheyenne, who's, leading the league right now. I know we have a loss, but if it ended right now, they would be ahead of us because they beat us, and West Fargo, who is sitting in third place, and so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking to see where our team is at. We need some challenges, and we need to see, what we need to improve on after these kind of games here to see what we need to work on going into tournament. So, we'll see if it'll be a good weekend or if it'll be a bad weekend.
Hey, Bart,
it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's always going to be fun when you two, West Fargo, Cheyenne, always seems to be a lot on the line in recent years in the EDC. So from a fan standpoint, I'm looking forward to it, Bart. So thank you very much for your time, and best of luck here this weekend and tonight against the Packers. Since 81. Park Christian School has been educating the next generation of leaders in the Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo area. Park Christian's thoroughly Christian education and commitment to academic excellence has resulted in a confident tradition of student success. Students graduate from Park Christian School strong in their faith and well prepared for the rigors of college, career, and relationships. Call 218-236-0500 to schedule your visit or go online to parkchristianschool.org. As we get ready here for EDC Boys Basketball, that does it for our Irie Insurance pregame show. For all of your insurance requests, visit Irie Insurance online at irieins.com. That is, again, irieins.com. For the West Fargo Packers at 10-3 on the season, they average 80 points per contest, second in the conference, and they give up 66 a night here for West Fargo. West Fargo has won 3 of their last 4 games, including a loss at the hands of the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs their last time out on January the 28th, last Friday, 71-66. On the opposite side for the Fargo Davies Eagles, averaging 87 points per contest. That tops the conference, and defensively giving up only 62 points per game, second in EDC play. Fargo Davies, they've won 9 straight games, including a 103-50 win against Valley City last Friday. For the visitors on the scoreboard, the West Fargo Packers, head coached by Adam Polcheski. They'll go like this: Parker Nelson, a 5'11 senior guard. Nelson averaging 8 points and 3 rebounds and 3 assists per contest. Caden Zepeda, a 6'1 senior, averaging 5 points and 2 steals. You have Brent Limke, the 6'1 senior guard. Limke averaging 14 points and 2 assists. Carson Hagerly, the 6'3 senior, the NDSU football commit, 15 points, 6 rebounds, and Fode Sharif, the 6'4 senior forward, 13 points and 8 boards. Nelson, Zepeda, Limke, Hagerly, and Sharif. Out of the starting lineup tonight with an ankle is Nick Carlson, averaging 15 and 7, so he will not be playing here this evening for the Packers. West Fargo 10-3 on the season, 9-3 in conference play. Now to the Fargo Davies Eagles, head coached by Bart Manson. They'll roll like this: Mason Claybo, a 6-foot freshman guard, first in the EDC in scoring. Claybo at 25 points a night and first in assists as well, with 4 on the evening for the 6-foot freshman guard, Mason Claybo. Ian Machenbaker, the 6-foot senior guard. Ian heading to Northern State Aberdeen, South Dakota, coming up in the fall. 18 points and 5 rebounds per game here for Machenbaker. Caden Broadflat, the 6'1 senior, 4 points and 3 boards. Raymond Brown, a 5'11 guard here. Brown at 12 points and 3 rebounds per contest. And Evan Van Dam, a 6'6 senior forward here for Van Dam again. 4 points and 4 rebounds per game here for Fargo Davies. For Fargo Davies, one more time again: Claybo, Machenbaker, Brothflat, Brown, and Van Dam. The Eagles on the season 12-1 and 11-1 in conference play. 2 18-minute halves with a 30-second shot clock. Class A boys basketball here tonight. The fans filing in from the girls contest, and the same for this boys one right now as we get set to tip this one off. Said it'll be close to around a 7:45 start, and 7:45 right now. Van Dam and Hagerly in the center circle as we get this one underway here on this Friday, frigid February the 4th. Opening tap is won by Fargo Davies. We'll see West Fargo come out in a little man defense right now as Claybo brings in the front court with Machenbaker. Left-hand side, Brothflat will handle it there at the left wing. Free throw line extended. Now the baseline. Claybo rips it through, looking for Brothflat. Goes left short corner. Passes right-hand side to Van Dam. Van Dam takes a hard dribble, couple of dribbles to the paint. Shot off the mark, and a backside rebound by Fode Sharif. Sharif from the floor here to Hagerly. Hagerly will hang, shoot, and that shot's going to get blocked by Brothflat. Trying to pick up this charge was going to be Claybo. They find Claybo in transition on the trail. Posting up on the inside, Van Dam, the 1 in that 4-1. Now it goes a little hesitation dribble by Machenbaker. He gets it passed on away with Zepeda, and then a double dribble here for the West Fargo Packers. West Fargo on the season shooting 43% from the floor. That's third in the conference. For Fargo Davies shooting at 40%. 39%, which leads the conference. Van Dam on the inside over Sharif. Left hand, baby hook off the backboard. Good for two. Evan Van Dam with the opening 2 points to start the scoring here for the Eagles. This one goes right-hand side now to Fode Sharif. Right wing 3 on the way off the front iron and a board to Machenbaker. Machenbaker up the other end of the floor. Little curl, hop, drives, kick, and Zepeda comes away with the steal. Nice job by Zepeda in transition defense for West Fargo. Hagerly rips it through. Hagerly drives, leaves it to Sharif. Sharif tried to go up with it, but then lost it. Go on the other end of the floor. It's Brown. Brown over Lemke. Right hand, a layup. No. Ball gets tapped around and won by Parker Nelson. Been one and done for both teams in the opening 90 seconds. Parker Nelson reverse pivots, calls out the offense from the Packers, gives it to Lemke. Left-hand side of the baseline as it goes to Sharif. Ball gets reversed around the horn out to Zepeda. Shot clock down to 15 seconds. Hagerly with the basketball there, trying to go on the interior. Now he'll shoot the 3. That one's going to rattle in, and the Packers take the lead. Carson Hagerly, his 17th made three-pointer of the season. The Packers lead it by 1, 2 minutes into the night's EDC boys basketball game. Machenbaker gets in the front court here, guarded by Nelson. This one goes left-hand side to Claybo, rises 15-footer, got it to go. Mason Claybo with his first 2 points leads the EDC in scoring again at 25 on an evening. Lemke takes a ball screen and Fode Sharif with the illegal screen. Fode Sharif will call for the screen. That'll be his first, team's first, and Alan Polcheski saying, hey, Raymond Brown kind of tugged at him and grabbed him and brought him down to the ground. That's why Sharif went down to the ground, but from the official's point of view, from where he saw it, there was the illegal ball screen there by Sharif. So the ball goes back to Fargo. Davies, Broflat in the front court, trying to pop it past the Claybo. Ball gets poked out of bounds by Hagerly. As this will stay with the Eagles here, as Broflat will inbound it. This one to the top of the key. Van Dam looking for the ball screen with Claybo. Claybo takes a couple hard dribbles, drives, kick out right-hand side. Broflat with a rip through. Reverse pivots, and we have a traveling violation here on Fargo Davies. Their third of the contest here in our opening half at CDC Boys Basketball tonight here on your live event. I'd like to thank United Savings Credit Union bringing our scoreboard here this evening, newly on board for EDC basketball. Hagerly crossing over, leaves it now to Zepeda. Check that, that's Nelson. Nelson, a 7-foot turnaround jumper is short. Broflat gets the rebound. Broflat up the other end of the floor. That's to Machenbaker, loses his handles, but gives it to Brown. Jumper on the mark, but that's going to be off the iron. Rebound to Broflat, his second, and a second chance opportunity here. Up top to Claybo. Claybo to Brown. Brown on the baseline here. 5-out offense. Machenbaker, he'll shoot the right wing 3 and gets it to go. Ian Machenbaker, his 14th made 3 of the season, and the Eagles lead it by 4. Top of the key, Hagerly, now to Lemke. This for the answer 3. Off the mark, and a rebound to Machenbaker, his second. Machenbaker wants to run in transition. Packers almost gets a steal. Who to go off a last touch by West Fargo. Packers will make a substitution as Jaden Grefstrud, a 6'1 senior forward, will come in. 5 points and 3 rebounds per contest. And for Fargo Davies, Alex Proctor, the 6-foot senior, averaging 6 points and 3 boards, will check in here for the Eagles. Ball will get inbounded left to the baseline, as that's going to be with Claybo on the give and go. Claybo guarded there by Parker Nelson, the 5'11 senior guard. Brown back to Claybo. Shot clock to 15 seconds. Claybo right-handed dribble. Trying to get by his defender, rises from 16 feet, shot off the mark. Rebound underneath, got it. Caden Broflat owning the glass right now with 3 rebounds and 2 points. The Eagles lead it by 6. It's their largest lead as Hagerly gets fouled, as Carson will go to the free throw line. The foul coming here on Broflat. His first, team's first, and Hagerly is a 20 of 43 from the free throw line here this season. Goes to the stripe. Largest lead for Fargo Davies early in this one with 14:06 left to play in the first half. Hagerly misses the first. After tonight, Davies will play again against West Fargo Cheyenne tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. The Packers will travel to Grand Forks and go up against a very dangerous Knights team that beat Red River last week and just kind of climbing the EDC standings right now. Broflat with another rebound going the other end of the floor. Alex Proctor, the 6-foot senior, coming into his own. It's the 5th Eagle player to score here in the opening minutes, and this is almost a carbon copy of the girls' basketball game right now. Left-hand side with it is Grefsrud to Limke. Limke, right baseline, Zepeda. The shot gets blocked by Van Dam. Other end of the floor, Proctor to Van Dam in transition for the Eagles as they give it to Clayball. Now Clayball gets double-teamed. Someone's trying to get open. Instead, Grefsrud jumps to passing lane and a turnover on the Eagles, their fourth. And Zepeda dribbled it off his left shoe. Goes right back to Fargo Davies. Take a look at the EDC standings entering play tonight. West Fargo, Cheyenne, and Davies tied at 11-1 in conference play. West Fargo sits by themselves third at 9-3. Then Red River at fourth at 7-5 in the conference. That's your top five. But Grand Forks Central at 5-6 again, just putting some games together here as of late and playing awfully well. Shot missed off the mark by Frostley, who checks in. Hagerly gets the rebound. Hagerly top of the key for three. Off the back tab, rebound goes up and winning it's Parker Nelson. Now to Limke. Limke with the teardrop runner. That's long and a board to Proctor. And just like the girls' game, West Fargo could hardly buy a first-half bucket, and that's what we're seeing right now in this boys' contest. This one will go to Mason Clayball looking on the inside, and Zepeda gets the steal. Zepeda the other end of the floor. This to Grefsrud. Back to Zepeda. The Packers will shoot the three. Got it! Caden Zepeda with his 8th three-pointer of the season. It's the second one tonight for West Fargo, and the Packers are back within 5. This one goes in the front court now to Proctor. Proctor lost it as it goes out of bounds. And a turnover on the Eagles, something Bart Madsen won't be too happy of. They played this up-and-down game, a lot of possessions, but that's their 6th turnover so far. Carson Barta will check in alongside with Ian Machenbaker. On the floor here for the West Fargo Packers, Fode Sharif back into the contest. West Fargo down by 5 after a couple main threes, one by Zepeda and one by Hagerly. Trying to get it back to a one-possession game here with a bucket. Grefsrud three-pointer short as it goes to Fargo Davies. The Eagles right now, 5 different players in the scoring column. Machenbaker with the only 3, and he leads the Eagles with those 3 points right now. Machenbaker in the front court, guarded by Zepeda. Both teams have played man defense in our opening 6 seconds in EDC boys basketball. Ball goes right-hand side for the Eagles. Now ball gets skipped to Machenbaker. Coming off of a down screen there is Proctor. Machenbaker bounce pass across the paint to Broflat. He gets fouled. And Caden will go to the free throw line. Foul comes on Hagerly, his first, team second. Broflat on the season, 13 of 23 from the line, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Playing awfully good here for the 6'1 senior. Free throw attempt number 1, got it. First free throw attempt of the night for Fargo Davies, second one upcoming here. Broflat averaging 4 points and 4 rebounds per game. Season high is 9 against Valley City. They don't necessarily ask him to do a lot of scoring. It's get the boards, do the other things well here for the Eagles. Hagerly opens Zepeda trying to shoot another three-pointer. That one's going to be short. Proctor gets the rebound. Proctor in transition here. Good job by Grefsrud getting the poke-away steal. Limke up the floor to Grefsrud. Now to Sharif, left baseline 3 in transition. Fode no. Hagerly put back off the front iron. Rebound comes, and that's going to be 1 to Fargo Davies and Carson Barta. Barta goes the other end of the floor, then a turnover as this one it goes back to Sharif. Up the floor, Sharif with a give and go. For Sharif spins, left-handed layup, good for 2. Quicker than a ping-pong game. Fode Sharif now with 2 points. Back and forth we go. Kind of what you expect here. 2 teams that like to get up and down the floor. Head coach Adam Polcheski told us in our Irie Insurance pregame show, ask him, how do you beat Fargo Davies? Well, you have to have ball pressure, keep them out of the paint, and then you got to score when you're playing the Eagles, as Fode Sharif and Proctor are tied up, and the possession arrow will favor the West Fargo Packers. Timeout on the floor. We'll break with them. 12-8. Davies with a 4-point edge. Under 11 minutes to play here in the opening half. It's EDC Boys Basketball tonight on your live event.
Degelman does put the effort and time into their employees by training them.
It's something that you think you couldn't do, but you can actually do it because you were trained to do it.
Once I got my confidence up, now I just feel pride.
I'm very proud to be leading the team that builds the toughest product in the manufacturing and agricultural industry.
My dream career is to be an esthetician because it allows me to branch out and do different things on different people every day. My dream career is to be a cosmetologist, and that's because I enjoy putting a smile on other people's faces. Putting a smile on other people's faces also puts a smile on my face.
My dream career is to be a massage therapist because I get to help people every day.
My dream career is becoming a nail tech because there are endless possibilities and I can get really creative with it.
Fargo Davies up by 4 with 10:55 left to play here in the first half. Coming up, we'll recap on the half, what happened in the girls' contest between the Packers and the Eagles. Fargo Davies winning that one, but we'll go over the final numbers in that contest here at the half. Grafstrud in the front court now to Parker Nelson. Nelson to Limke. Limke comes off a staggered screen and hits the triple. Brett Limke, his 37th made three-pointer of the season. He shoots 39% from beyond the arc, and the Packers are back within one. Other end of the floor, Machenbaker drives and gets fouled on the floor here as the foul will come, and the third one on West Fargo. This would be on Isaac Fitz, the 6'1" junior forward. Eagles ready to inbound. Fargo Davies with Van Dam to Claybo. Claybo takes the ball screen, looking inside for Van Dam on the roll. Now to Machenbaker, and this might be an over and back, and it is. Over and back violation here on the Eagles. Bart Manson thought that there might have been a tip on Isaac Fitz. Nothing was granted, and the Eagles are already with their 9th turnover here of the opening half compared to 3 for West Fargo. Packers were trailing at 9-3 in the opening 4 minutes of play. Since then, able to find their footing in this contest, and don't look now, a bucket here to give them their first lead of the night. Parker Nelson finds Limke. Limke guarded there by Brown, 11 on 11. Limke takes a ball screen, drives, kick out left-hand side, Fitz, left pocket three. That one's going to go long. Rebound out to Mason Claybo. Claybo in transition, pops it past to Machenbaker for 2. Ian now with 5, give Mason Claybo the assist, and the Eagles lead it by 3 at the midway point here in half number 1. Parker Nelson drives, leaves it to left baseline. Grefsrud, that one rattles out. Fode Sharif tries to get the rebound. Ball goes out of play, and 2 Fargo Davies. Packers will make a substitution here as Carson Hagerly will check in for Fode Sharif. Caden Broflat back in the contest for the Eagles, in for Evan Van Dam. Last meeting, Davies won in West Fargo, 84-75. The Eagles have won 3 straight in this series between the Packers and the Eagles. This one goes, Machenbaker shot, no. Second shot, yes. Ian, 7 points, 3 rebounds for the future product that's heading to Aberdeen, South Dakota and Northern State. Parker Nelson hangs, shoots, shot off the mark. Rebound back to Machenbaker. Machenbaker up the other end of the floor to Broflat, and here comes a transition game for Fargo Davies. Broflat with 5, Machenbaker with 7 as they lead the floor right now. And again, it was just a 12-11 game, a little 6-0 run right now by the Eagles. And Brett Limke going to get called for the offensive foul. Hooked him. Raymond Brown on the guard. Limke will get called for the foul. That's Brett's first, team's 4th. And we have a substitution as Fitz will check out of the game for West Fargo. Zepeda back in. 8:42 left to play here in the first half. This one gets in the front court with Machenbaker. Davies to Claybo. Claybo finds Brown top of the key. Brown back to Claybo. Right wing, he'll shoot the triple. That one off the iron. Rebound going to be one to Broflat. His 5th. This one gets fired to Machenbaker. Machenbaker shot fake, goes right to the tin. Shot over. Hagerly's going to get in for 2. Machenbaker now with 9 points, and it's the largest lead of the game for Fargo Davies, back up to 10. This one goes Parker Nelson, make it a 9-point game, Hagerly to Grefsrud. Grefsrud with the basketball, probing here. A little driving cut motion offense. Back to Parker Nelson. Leaves it to Limke. 3-pointer coming by Brett, and he got it to go. Limke showing the range. His second made 3, and the Packers are back within 2 possessions. Other end, we're going to get a foul here on the floor. This will be on Parker Nelson, his first and the team's 5th on the hand check foul. Fode Sharif back in the contest as Limke will check out here for the Packers. Ball goes in the backcourt for Fargo Davies. This Game got underway at 7:45. Back and forth we go in the opening minutes. Coming off a screen is Claybo. Good job by Parker Nelson to wall him up. This one goes to Brown, right baseline. Now to Frostley. Back to the top of the key. Raymond Brown rises, right wing triple. Off the mark. Broflat saves it right to a teammate, and that's going to be to Claybo. Machenbaker now crossing over right to left. Shot going to get partially blocked by Hagerly, and we're going to have a shot clock violation on Fargo Davies, their 10th turnover of the contest. And for the Eagles right now, they'll continue with the basketball, as this is going to be to Parker Nelson. Nelson's going to drive. Now to Zepeda. This one goes to left baseline to Grefsrud. Grefsrud shot off the mark, and a rebound goes to Raymond Brown. Brown the other end of the floor, and a turnover here on the Eagles. As Fargo Davies will make a substitution with Alex Proctor, as Proctor will check back on the floor. As Fargo down by 6 right now at the 7-minute mark of the first half. Can't complain in terms of how they've been shooting, just down by 6. It's because they've turned over Fargo Davies 11 times to put them right in fighting distance. They were down by double figures late to Cheyenne. Cut it all the way down to 3 in the latter part of the game. Fode Sharif, nice spin move on the inside. Ball gets tapped out and right to Machenbaker. Ian in transition to Claybo. Finds Proctor. Tries to get up for the dunk, and then there's a foul here as Machenbaker took a hard shot as he'll go to the free throw line. Machenbaker with his 6th board. Ian now with 9 points in the game. Proctor trying to rise and get the dunk. Grefsrud will pick up the foul, his first, team 6. You have 6 different Packers right now with a foul. Machenbaker at the line. Gets the first. Now in double digits with 10. Limke back on the floor here for Grefsrud. Davies, Van Dam will check in for Brown. Free throw attempt number 2 on the way here for Ian. Fargo Davies 2 of 3 in the first half right now from the line. Now make them 3 of 4. 11 points for Machenbaker. Carson Hagerly working with it the other way. Packers down by 8 on your United Savings Credit Union scoreboard. Brent Limke to the right baseline. Top of the key here for Hagerly. Hagerly drives, kick to Limke. Limke with the jab step, guarded by Proctor. Spins, hangs, shoots off the backboard. A tough shot by Brent Limke goes. Limke with 8. His season high is 23 against Fargo North, and he made 6 3-pointers in a game 2 times this year. Mason Claybo gets by his defender. Right-hand reversal. Shot gets blocked by Fode Sharif. 6-point contest here as the shot clock at 20. Fargo Davies slated to inbound it. Machenbaker to Claybo, back to Ian. Ian from just inside the 3-point line gets it to go. A hard-earned 13 points by Machenbaker. He's got 13 of the Eagles' 24. Hagerly in the front court. Now to Parker Nelson. Give and go. Ball gets tipped by Claybo into the front row and stays with West Fargo. Media timeout on the floor. 5:45 left to play here in regulation. Davies up by 8 here on your live event.
Let's get real. You're ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. So get ready for the University of Minnesota Crookston. With more than 30 majors, minors, and certificates, you'll earn a University of Minnesota degree in a close-knit community where faculty become friends and friends feel like family. And to get a degree that can make a difference, you don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, ready.
Other games tonight in the EDC, Valley City at Fargo South. Fargo Shanley traveled up to Grand Forks to go up against the Knights. Last night, Shanley lost at the hands of Grand Forks Red River. Wahpeton at Fargo North from the Spartan Dome, and West Fargo Cheyenne at Devil's Lake tonight here in the EDC. Tomorrow at 2:30, Davies in West Fargo Cheyenne, and a late one in Valley City, Devil's Lake at the Valley City Highlanders tomorrow night. Top 4 teams in the conference, Cheyenne and Davies, 2 games ahead of West Fargo coming into this evening. Red River is 4th, 4 games behind the Mustangs and the Eagles. At 5th is Shanley, tied with Fargo South. North a half game behind them alongside Grand Forks Central. So that number 5 spot's awfully large. The top 5 are in a bye into the EDC quarterfinals. The top 4 will host a quarterfinal round game. The EDC tournament gets underway for the opening play-in round on Saturday, February 26th. Parker Nelson, three-pointer off the iron. Alex Proctor gets up for the rebound, his third. And for Fargo, Davies in the backcourt with Machenbaker. He's having himself a really good performance. 13 first-half points. Now to Claybo. Claybo looking on the inside. Claybo with it. Reverse it. Left-hand side to Machenbaker. Van Dam posting up on the inside. Ian rises. 7-footer on the way. Rattles out. Ball tipped out as Sharif and Hagerly were there. And Van Dam just got enough of a presence where two Packers were trying to jostle for the basketball. And Fargo Davies gets a fresh 30. Claybo from the right baseline. Triple on the way is long. Limke is there. Ball goes out of play and back to the Eagles. These are the little things right now for West Fargo. Trailing it by 8, where you're giving an awfully good team, number 2 rated team in the state, and Fargo Davies, not 1, not 2, but now 3 chances here in this possession. Can the Eagles cash in? Machenbaker dribbles it out front. Gonna leave it now to Braflat. Braflat looks to left baseline. That's to Claybo. Claybo with the basketball as Van Dam posting up on the inside. Ball trying to go to Van Dam there. Sharif with it. Back now to Braflat. Braflat to Van Dam. Van Dam goes hard up and gets it to go. Evan tried to sky dunk that one. Got it enough on the roll. Hagerly the other end with the 2 points with the answer. Hagerly now at 5. And that double-digit lead was for a brief moment. Now it's back down to 8. Davies, Claybo. The freshman already has an offer from NDSU. Head coach Dave Richmond for the Bison in the house tonight as well. Alex Proctor gets right to the rim. Finishes now with 4 points and 3 boards. Packers in the front court. Left-hand side, Hagerly. Hagerly, left wing with the basketball. Little hesitation. Dribble to Sharif. Fode spins the baseline on Van Dam. Gets the shot off and count it. Fode Sharif with 4 points, a chance to make it 5 at the line. The basket's good and a foul on Evan Van Dam, his first and the team's second. Fode Sharif for the good old-fashioned three-point opportunity here. 20 of 28 from the free throw line this season for Sharif, and he got it to go. Sharif will check out. Coming in is Jaden Gratzer. Packers down by 7, and a football score right now, 28-21. Man defense has continued throughout for both teams here tonight. As Machenbaker now to Claybo. Claybo guarded there by Parker Nelson, and Parker Nelson with the reach and foul. Parker's second, team 7th, and a 1-1 opportunity here for Claybo. 69% free throw shooter this season, as Raymond Brown is set to check in, as Davies will go with a little bit shorter of a lineup here, as the 6'6 Evan Van Dam will come out, and the 5'11 junior guard and Brown will come in. Make one to get one opportunity for the Eagles. They're 3 of 4 as a team from the line here tonight. Free throw attempt by Claybo is long, and a rebound goes to Jaden Grefsrud, his first of the contest. Packers down by 7. Parker Nelson with the basketball, goes behind the back, rises from 10 feet. Shot is off the back iron. Rebound by Machenbaker. Machenbaker then looks to go coast to coast. Shot up and shot good. Machenbaker now with 15 of the 30 points by the Eagles. Grefsrud is open, but Braflat sees a turnover on West Fargo. Mason Claybo will handle it now in the front court, crossing over. Drives, leaves it left-hand side to Proctor. Proctor just inside the three-point line, got it to go. Proctor with 6, and the Eagles have their largest lead of the game at 11, 32-21. Little 4-0 run here for the Eagles. Parker Nelson tries to rip it through. Nelson gets the ball back to Limke. Limke kick, extra fine, Hagerly. Hagerly takes a couple of dribbles down the paint, shot up, and it's going to be an offensive. It is. Hagerly with the offensive charge here. This will be his second, team's 8th, and that's a tough one if you're a Packer fan. The block charge is a tough one to call from an official standpoint, as the Eagles get this charge on Hagerly because 2 reasons. That would have been an and-one opportunity, but also Hagerly picks up his second foul. Machenbaker in the front court, lots of handles, now to Claybo. Claybo deep 3, got it to go. Mason Claybo with 5 points. You can even give Machenbaker the assist. The Eagles lead it by 14. Nelson looking inside for Hagerly. Ball goes off a play and off of Fargo Davies. Frostley will check back in, the 6'8 junior forward here for the Eagles, as Proctor will check out. West Fargo slated to inbound the basketball. Limke gives it to Hagerly. Hagerly left of the key. He'll shoot it. That one off the mark, and a rebound goes to Machenbaker. His 8th board as we got him down for here in this first half. He takes a ball screen inside the paint, reverse pivots, looking on the inside of Broflat, and a foul here on Parker Nelson. That'll be his 3rd, team's 9th, and a 1-and-1 upcoming for Fargo Davies. Broflat with the make one to get one. Just 2 fouls for the Eagles, 9 here in the first half for West Fargo, as this one is in to the waning seconds, or the waning minutes of the first half. Free throw attempt upcoming here for Fargo Davies. That's good. Broflat will get another opportunity. Caden now with 6 points, 6 rebounds on the night. Free throw attempt number 2 is good. And a substitution as Carson Barta will check in for the aforementioned Broflat, and Fargo Davies right now. When it was 28-21, it's a 9-0 run for the Eagles in the last 2 minutes of game time right now. And they've blown this first half lead, ballooned it up to 16. Limke left wing rips it through, dribble pullback, 3-pointer on the way, got it to go. Limke with the triple, his 3rd main 3. He's got 11 to lead the floor here for the Packers. Brown in the front court. Bounce pass, Machenbaker. Machenbaker goes down the paint, and a traveling violation here on the Eagles. Something we haven't said in the second half of the opening 18 minutes. Fargo Davies 11 first half turnovers, now at 12, but they had a lot of them in the opening 8 minutes. Hagerly goes down the paint, little Euro step, a quick little 5-0 run to answer now for the Packers. Hagerly with 7. Breaking the press is Fargo Davies up the floor. Frostley trying to get the jam. Goes the other end now to Jaden Grefstrud. Grefstrud to Hagerly for 2. Hagerly with 9, making a 7-0 run by the Packers. They're back within 9. And we're going to get an offensive charge. This will be with Clavo. Zapata is there to get the charge here. Clavo picks up his first, team's 3rd, and Coach Bart Manson wants a timeout with 1:28 left to play here in the first half. Timeout on the floor. We'll break with him. Fargo Davies up by 9 on your live event. On your United Saving Credit Union scoreboard, go to UnitedSavingsCU.org. That's UnitedSavingsCU.org for more information. Fargo Davies up by 9. And the last 40 seconds, we've seen a 7-0 run by the West Fargo Packers. Again, it was a 16-point game at 37-21 with 2:10 left to play. And since then, Hagerly with a couple of buckets. You get a stop or 2. Offensive charge on Clabo. All of a sudden, West Fargo now, they're able to get a 3-pointer here. They would find themselves back within 2 possessions. Hagerly in the front court, guarded on the man defense by Carson Barta. Barta, the 6'1 junior guard. Fode Sharif with the basketball, spins at the free throw line, goes up in a foul. Frostley will get called for it. Max's first, team's 4th, and Fode Sharif goes back to line. 5 points on the night for the senior with a rebound here for Sharif. He scored 11 or more points in the last 5 games here for West Fargo. 75 seconds left to play in the half. Sharif misses the first as Proctor comes back on the floor with Broflat. Jaden Grefstrud will check back in the game here for West Fargo. Packers have gone really to a 7-man rotation for Fargo Davies in this opening half. We've seen 8 players on the floor as Sharif goes 1 of 2 from the line. And now for Fargo Davies, see that lead down to 8 on this 8-0 run by the Packers. Brown up top to Proctor. Proctor tries to get by Sharif. Now to Clabo. Clabo top of the key, guarded by Zapata. Clabo spin, shot off the front iron, and it comes down with Sharif. Fode at the other end of the floor to Hagerly. Hagerly goes hard up, and that's going to be a goaltend. Proctor went up to try to get it, but it hit the backboard, and once it hits the backboard and goes on its way down, that is going to be a goaltend. So give Sharif on the offensive side to Hagerly for the 2 points. So Hagerly now with 13 on the night for West Fargo. Packers down by 6. Claybo, other end jumper off the iron. Ball goes through the hands of Broflat right to Proctor, and we have a foul here on the floor, but it will be 2 shots. Proctor with 6. The foul coming here will be on Fode Sharif. This will be his second, team's 10th, and going to the free throw line to shoot. It's going to be Proctor. Proctor makes the first. 7 points, 4 rebounds in the game. Free throw attempt number 2 upcoming here for Proctor. That one rattles out. Sharif with the rebound. Now a chance here for West Fargo in the front court with Hagerly. Back to Sharif. Sharif spins. Nice move for 2. Sharif now with 8 points in the game, and the Packers are back within 5. As Fargo Davies will handle it now with Machenbaker. Machenbaker, top of the key. Fargo Davies wants the final shot of the half. And crossing over right to left, takes the ball screen, finds it to Brown. Now back to Claybo. Claybo with 5 seconds, down to 4. Claybo with 3, with 2 inside pass to Machenbaker for the assist before the buzzer, and that's how we'll end this first half of play. Machenbaker with 15, check that, with 17 first half points here for Fargo Davies. At the half, it's the second-ranked Eagles 40, West Fargo Packers 33. Halftime show and take a look at the first half numbers is next here on your live event.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex, and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Incorporated. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
If you want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community, then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, and Castleton, or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
Since 1981, Park Christian School has been educating the next generation of leaders in the Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo area. Park Christian's thoroughly Christian education and commitment to academic excellence has resulted in a confident tradition of student success. Students graduate from Park Christian School strong in their faith and well prepared for the rigors of college, career, and relationships. Call 218-236-0500 to schedule your visit or go online to parkchristianschool.org. Fargo Davies drumline performing here at the half. The Fargo Davies Eagles lead it 40-33 of the West Fargo Packers here in EDC boys basketball on the United Savings Credit Union scoreboard. Take a look at the first half numbers here for Fargo Davies. 4 of 7 from the free throw line with 5 players in the scoring column with 2 made three-pointers. The Eagles with 12 first half turnovers. For the West Fargo Packers, 4 players in the scoring column, 2 of 5 from the stripe, with 5 made three-pointers here for West Fargo, 4 players, 4 turnovers here for West Fargo. The Eagles led in the individual numbers. Ian Machenbaker almost got a season average in the first half, 17 points, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Machenbaker with a made 3 as well. From there, 7 points by Caden Broflat with 6 rebounds. 7 points by Alex Proctor, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 5 points by Mason Claybo and 4 points by Evan Van Dam. Fargo Davies led by the 17th of Ian Machenbaker. For the West Fargo Packers, Carson Hagerly, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 0 of 2 from the stripe. Brett Limke, 11 points with 3 made threes. 3 points by Zepeda and 2 points make that 8 points by Fode Sharif, who's 2 of 3 from the line. Sharif, 8 points and 3 rebounds. Again, the Packers led by the 11 of Limke and the 11 by Hagerly. When we come back, recap what happened in the girls' contest from earlier tonight. Fargo Davies up by 7 at the half in EDC boys basketball.
Minnesota. There's much to offer for new residents and much to do once you're here. Medical facility, living community, and assistant living. A beautiful school campus providing quality education. The Deco Center with a 24-hour fitness center. A community of faith with church and youth programs, auto dealers, bowling, theater, farm implement and agronomy centers, banks, retail and service businesses, a radio station, and much more. With employment and housing available, welcome to the City of Ada to work, raise a family, and relax. Contact the City of Ada for more information.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex, and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Incorporated. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
Since 1981, Park Christian School has been educating the next generation of leaders in the Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo area. Park Christian's thoroughly Christian education and commitment to academic excellence has resulted in a confident tradition of student success. Students graduate from Park Christian School strong in their faith and well prepared for the rigors of college, career, and relationships. Call 218-236-0500 to schedule your visit or go online to parkchristianschool.org.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
This is Jim Berkemeyer, owner of R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Together with Bernie, we're inviting you to join us on a tour of Victoria, Vancouver, and the Canadian Rockies, July 14th through 23rd. On this tour, we'll visit historic Victoria, tour the breathtaking Butcher Gardens, and experience the stunning scenery of the Canadian Rockies via rails train. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ. Learn more about this tour and watch the travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Remember the keyword RJ.
At the half, Fargo Davies leads it by 7. Before we recap what happened earlier in the girls' game, out-of-town scoreboard, Bismarck Legacy defeats Watford City, and WDA boys basketball tonight, 62-22. Boys hockey, Fargo Davies won. West Fargo scoreless after one period. And an upset brewing in Class B boys basketball at the half. Mayport CG 27, Kindred 26 in Class B boys basketball. That's one of the top 10 teams in the state in the Kindred Vikings right there in that one. Again, at the half here, 40-33 Eagles over the Packers and EDC boys basketball. Earlier tonight in the girls contest, Fargo Davies winners 80-45 over the West Fargo Packers. You had Harley Franks, Ashton Safransky, and Ava Wild with 15 points apiece to lead the floor for Fargo Davies, and Jessica Walsvik had 9 points for West Fargo in that game. Fargo Davies started on a 10-0 run and never looked behind as the Eagles go on for the victory, 80-45. And then in that game as well for Fargo Davies, they won their 9th straight contest, improving at 13-1 on the season. For the West Fargo Packers, they've lost now 3 of their last 4 games for West Fargo as they fall to 11-4 and 10-4 in conference play here in the girls' game. So again, your final in the girls' contest, Fargo Davies 80 and the West Fargo Packers 45. EDC boys basketball tournament gets underway Saturday, February the 26th, playing around at the higher seed. Tuesday, March 1st, we'll have a quarterfinal round matchup for you right here on your live event. And then in the boys' play, On Friday, March the 4th, the semifinals and loser out games from the Shield Center. We'll have all those games for you, including the state qualifiers and the EDC Championship from the Shield Center on Saturday, March the 5th, right here on Your Live Event. So go to yourliveevent.com to check out our coverage throughout the month of February, or just hit subscribe on YouTube by searching Your Live Event to check out the upcoming action. At the half again, Fargo Davies led by the 17 of Ian Mochenbaker. For the West Fargo Packers led by the 11 of Carson Hangerly. Quick timeout. We come back. Second half action between the Packers and the Eagles. That's next here on Your Live Event.
Insurance with one philosophy: hire great people and provide great service and options. We want to help protect your home, farm, crops, personal, and your businesses. Hello, this is Shane with Irie Insurance, and since day one we have followed this golden rule to help protect you. That's why we have so many locations like West Fargo, Devils Lake, Hope, Hillsboro, Mackville, and Towner. To find out more about Irie Insurance, go to IrieInsurance.com. Irie Insurance is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
Coming June 23rd through the 25th at Brainerd International Raceway, the Midwest Premier Country and Rock Festival. Lakes Jam presented by R&J Broadcasting. On the Bud Light main stage, hear John Party, Tesla, Gabby Barrett, Warrant, Kicks, Mark Wills, and more. It's more than a music festival with watercross, drifting, poker tourneys, lawnmower racing, and more. For tickets and more information, visit lakesjam.com.
As we get ready for second half basketball between number 2 Fargo Davies and the West Fargo Packers, the Eagles lead it again 40-33 for the number 2 ranked team in the latest Class A boys basketball poll. Minot, the Magi at number 1, Fargo Davies at number 2. Following them, Bismarck Century 3, West Fargo Cheyenne 4, and Bismarck High at number 5. Talking about this game for Fargo Davies back in our pregame show with head coach Bart Manson, said, as much as we like to talk about Davies scoring, how about the defense? Second in the EDC at 62 points a night they give up. And he said, the thing about our defense is we focused on trying to keep players in front of us, force tough shots, and try to get the one and done. They've been able to do that here this evening. West Fargo again playing without what would be a starter, Nick Carlson, averaging 15 and 7 per night. He's out with an injury. That happened yesterday in practice. West Fargo, a team that head coach Adam Polcheski said if we share the ball more, do a little less dribbling, swing it and move it around the horn, we could really go up to the next level of play. And also been very impressed with Fode Sharif, just a guy that continues to get better every day, listens, and a really quality rebounder here as well for the Packers. So West Fargo down by 7 to start the second half of play as it's in the front court here with Mochenbaker. He'll rise from 15 feet off the front iron. Ball gets tipped out and right to Mason Clabo for the board. His second, other end of the floor. This shot going to be off the mark, and Parker Nelson gets the rebound. Nelson then tripped as we might have a wet spot in the backcourt as Hagerly will bring it up. Hagerly in the front court right now drives to Parker Nelson. This to Brent Limke. Limke kicks a couple dribbles. Ball gets kicked out right-hand side to Hagerly. Hagerly spins to the free throw line. Hangs, shoot, shot, got it to go. Carson Hagerly now with 13 points. First 2 points in the second half. Packers back within 2 possessions. Mochenbaker in the front court here. This one on the back cut. Mochenbaker gets it, and Zepeda got the block but got enough of the rest. So Kanan picks up his first, team's first, and going to the free throw line will be Mochenbaker. Ian at the line tonight, 2 of 2 for Fargo Davies at the stripe. 6 of 8 from the free throw line, now make him 7 of 9. Free throw attempt number 2 upcoming here for the senior guard. This to try to give the Eagles back a 7-point lead. He does. Neither team has pressed too much. We've seen West Fargo try to pressure and press Fargo Davies more. And Fargo Davies has really picked up more in the half court. Zepeda, right baseline driving kick to Hagerly at the top of the key. Hagerly crossing over right to left and gets the steal from Broflet up the other end of the floor. This goes to Mochenbaker for 2. Ian now with 21 points on the night. His season high is 29, and the way he's scoring, that might be in jeopardy. Nelson to Fode Sharif. Sharif takes a ball screen there, rips it through. Nice shot fake, tries to get the up and under. Scoop and score. Fode Sharif now in double figures with 10. got cut off, then regained his position and able to finish with the right-handed scoop. Other on the floor, it's Mason Claybo, bra flat, right-hand side of the baseline on this weaving action to Brown. Brown bounce pass on the interior, spinning, shooting, scoring is Evan Van Dam. Van Dam now with 6, and the Eagles lead it by 9. Back and forth here in the second half. Parker Nelson to Carson Hagerly. Hagerly back to left baseline. That goes to Limke. Double team comes through to Hagerly. His shot off the back and front iron. A rebound underneath off, and it's going to go to West Fargo. Davies and Max Frostley will check in. Also coming in for the Packers will be Jaden Grefsrud. Brett Limke slated to inbound the basketball here to the left of the baseline. Limke pops a pass that goes to Hagerly as Zepeda try to get a little flex cut open, then Fode Sharif spins into a double team kick out. Hagerly left wing 3 on the way. Got it! Carson Hagerly with the triple. He's got a team high 16 points for the Packers. West Fargo down by 6. Hagerly's season high is 20. Ball at the top of the key. Machenbaker tries a little shot fake. Extra pass goes Frostley right baseline. That one rattles out, and Fode Sharif gets the 4th rebound of his night. Sharif in the front court here. A little Euro step down the paint. Right hand scoop off the backboard and finished with the English. Sharif now with 12, and the Packers are back within 4. Sharif trying to post up Frostley. Grefsrud gets in front of Braflat. Ball goes out of play, and right now the Packers playing with a little confidence against the Eagles. Proctor, this is what it's been, though, when these two teams meet. It's sometimes it can be a track meet. It can be the first one to 80 or 90 wins. Other times with the defenses that these two teams pride themselves on, it could be a hard physical contest. We've seen that a little bit play out here tonight as well. Ball goes around the horn. Claybo, three-pointer, got it! Mason Claybo with the triple, and a timeout by head coach Bart Manson. Claybo now with 8. That's his second made 3. The Eagles back up by 7. 14:45 left to go in regulation. It's EDC Boys Basketball on your live event. Back here from Fargo Davies High School on your live event. The Eagles lead it by 7, 49-42. The Eagles led by Ian Machenbaker, 21 points for the West Fargo Packers. The 16 by Carson Hagerly. Last West Fargo win came at Fargo Davies on December 22nd of 2020. The Packers won against the Eagles 77-68. Since then, Fargo Davies has won 3 straight in the series. West Fargo Packers, last year's state champ, 22-3 record, beat Minot High in the state championship, Cheyenne in the semis, and Bismarck High in the quarterfinals. For the Fargo Davies Eagles, you can pretty much almost pen in, not pencil, you can put almost permanent ink in every year for the Eagles to get 20-plus wins over the last 6 seasons. Their worst record was last year at 20-6, and then 4 years ago at 20-5. This is a team that just knows how to get the job done. Bart Manson earlier this season, 400 career wins on the bench here for Fargo Davies. As Brett Limke lost the ball as it goes now to Fargo Davies. Bart Manson, 12 years as a head coach here for the Eagles. Adam Polcheski, 5 years on the opposite side for West Fargo. Ball in the front court now, as that's going to be in the front. Braflat finds Proctor, guarded there by Sharif. Ball gets reversed left-hand side. Claybo shoots the 3. It's out, and then Proctor gets the poke away. Steal back to Machenbaker, and Fode Sharif picks up the foul. Fode, that's going to be his 3rd, team 2nd. And going to the free throw line will be Ian Machenbaker. Machenbaker holding his arm right now. Right, just got a stinger as Machenbaker goes to the line with 21 on the night. Free throw attempt is off the mark. His first miss here from the line. Now 4 of 5. Here's again, he holds that elbow area. Sometimes you just come and land on your funny bone sometimes, and Machenbaker able to hit the second. Game high 22, Eagles up by 8. 14 minutes left to play here in regulation. EDC boys basketball. Fargo Davies win tonight. It's pretty much them and Cheyenne as the number 1 and number 2 seeds entering the EDC tournament. If the Packers win, that make things some interesting play down the stretch. Then Fode Sharif with the 2 points. He's got 14. Packers trailing Cheyenne and Davies by 2 games entering play tonight, and Davies and Cheyenne, they will play tomorrow. Shot by Brown off the mark. Refsrud gets the rebound, his third. Limke in the front court. Limke drives, kick. Hagerly, three-pointer. He shoots it. That's going to be short. Rebound, and grabbing that one is going to be Machenbaker, his 9th of the contest. Then ball goes out of play. He'll stay with Fargo Davies. Checking in. York will check in. Dan York, the 6-foot sophomore, as Brown will check out. Parker Nelson will come in for Zepeda. First time we've seen York tonight, averaging 4 points, 2 assists for the 6-foot sophomore guard. This one goes in the backcourt, and Machenbaker will handle it, guard there by Parker Nelson. Machenbaker leaves it left-hand side around the horn of Proctor. Proctor, a little curl hop through the paint, shot up, and that's off the mark. Limke tries to get the rebound. Ball gets tipped there by York, and then the shot gets blocked by Sharif. Other end is Grevstrud. Grevstrud, little curl hop pass down the paint to Sharif. 2 points, yes sir! Sharif 8 points in the half, 16 in the game, and the Packers are back within 4. A three-musketeer duo with Limke, Hagerly, and Sharif all in double digits right now for the Packers. Machenbaker, he's been the story for Fargo Davies. A little give-and-go action here as Machenbaker gets a reach and foul. This is on Hagerly. That's his 3rd, and it is. So you got Nelson with 3, Hagerly with 3, and Fode Sharif with 3 right now for the Packers with 12:40 left to play. Broflat on the inbounds right in front of the coaching staff here for Fargo Davies. Claybo handles it, rises from 14 feet, got it. Claybo, 5 points in each half, now in double digits with 10. Came into tonight leading the EDC in scoring at 25 a night, and he's only a freshman. Hagerly got his man underneath the rim, able to finish with a right-hand scoop. Not a shot you see too often in the game of basketball. Hagerly now with 18. Open, Proctor for the two-hand rim rockin' jam. Proctor now with 9. Other end of the floor, Sharif goes hard down the paint. He gets fouled in the act of shooting. So Sharif will go to the line. That's the first team foul here of the second half for Fargo Davies. That's just their 5th in the contest. The foul comes on Proctor, his first, team's first, as Sharif goes back the other end. And quicker than you can blink, West Fargo will be back at the line. First free throws of the second half for the Packers. Free throw attempt number 1 is good. West Fargo now 3 of 6 from the stripe. Coming in, Levi Olson, the 6'7 senior, will check in for Broflat. Free throw attempt number 2 upcoming here for Fode Sharif, trying to match Carson Hagerly with a team-high 18 if he can make this one, and he does. So got those two at 18. Limke with 11. That's the majority of the offense here for West Fargo outside the 3 points from Zepeda. York goes down the other end, lost it, and a turnover here on Fargo Davies. They're first in the second half, 13th in the game. This is one of those where Fargo Davies has led throughout so far, wire to wire. The Packers been able to get it down to 1. Sharif takes a nice on the 1-and-1 opportunity and gets to the rim. Levi Olson will pick up the foul. His first, team second. Help came late, so going up was Sharif, and he goes back to the line. Sharif 4 of 5 from the free throw line tonight. Now 5 of 6. Season high 24 points against Fargo Shanley. And if he makes this free throw attempt, he'll get to 20 on the night. Tries to bring the Packers back within 2, and he does. Sharif, calm, cool, and collected. And West Fargo back within 1 possession here as they have a little full court pressure. Ian Machenbaker guarded there by Parker Nelson. Ball in the front court. Goes to the baseline here to Proctor. Proctor with the jab step. Right-hand side to Mason Claybo. Man defense has been the name of the game for both teams tonight. This one goes to Olson. Olson tries to spin inside the paint. Now to Claybo. Claybo shot clock down to 7. Claybo rises. Hard shot partially blocked by Hagerly. Out of bounds was Olson. and a turnover here on the Eagles. Tell you what, the West Fargo defense is definitely ramped up here in the last couple of possessions, and they've taken advantage on the offensive end, particularly with Fode Sharif. Parker Nelson calls out the offense here. Gives it to Sharif. Sharif takes a ball screen by Grefsrud. Deep two-pointer come in front of the rim. No good. Rebound. Grefsrud gets the deck, and then we're going to get a foul here. He's trying to come over Grefsrud was York. He picks up the foul. That's Dan's first, team's third. And we'll have a couple of substitutions as Braflat and Raymond Brown return to the floor here for Fargo Davies. 54-52 with 11:05 left here in the second half. For Fargo Davies in jeopardy of trailing for the first time tonight potentially. Sharif gets right to the rim. Shot good. Fode Sharif, have yourself a night, sir, with 22 points. And on the baseline, out of bounds is Carson Higley as he almost gets the steal. But for the first time tonight, we're tied since the opening tip here with 10:58 left to play in regulation. West Fargo sees it in the front court now for Fargo Davies with Mason Claybo. Machin Baker has been the answer, no doubt. Claybo's been there. The question is, can someone else get some scoring here consistently in the second half? Proctor's been able to do so as well with 9 points for the Eagles. Machin Baker drives, kick, Raymond Brown. Brown looking for the backdoor to Claybo on the baseline, but out of bounds. Brown thought that Claybo was going to flare out to the baseline, and a turnover here on the Eagles. Zepeda and Limke return as Hagerly will check out with Nelson. Brett Limke with 11 first-half points, 3 made threes. Kaden Zepeda with a three-pointer in the first half as well. And now for the first time tonight, the Packers have a chance to take a lead. Grefsrud goes right to the 10. Shot off the mark, but Grefsrud gets the offensive rebound. Kick out, Fode Sharif. Three! Tickles the twine! Fode Sharif now with the season-high 25 points and gives the Packers a 3-point lead. Oh, man, what a game for Fode Sharif. A season high here and making a career high on the varsity level as well. Fargo Davies, they've had the answer more times than not tonight as they go on the inside of Mason Claybo over Zepeda. Calm, cool, and collective. Claybo on the flex cut there. Now with 12 points and a timeout on the floor by head coach Bart Manson. Under 10 minutes to play in EDC basketball. Packers up by 1 on your live event.
Basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common. They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Going to NDSCS, I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. I for sure will look back on all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
First week of college, I can't tell you how many friends I've made. It's a family, you know what I mean? Like every time I go to a meeting, like everyone knows my name. They're always kind to me. I love it. I can't explain how much I love it here. My name is Junior, and I'm here for my future.
Back on the floor here on your United Savings Credit Union scoreboard with 4 locations, 2 in Fargo, 1 in Dilworth, and 1 in Detroit Lakes. For more information, go to UnitedSavingsCU.org. That's UnitedSavingsCU.org. Reggie Funk handling the camera. Chase Miller with you here, and it's been an entertaining affair going back to the first half. Fargo Davies up 37-21 with 2:10 left to play. And West Fargo came and trimmed that puppy down to 7 at the half. And this second half has been a lot of green. This is the reason why. Fode Sharif with points and also the assist to Grefsrud on the little slip screen there. Jaden with his first 2 points in the evening. The Packers back up by 3. 9:30 left to play here in regulation. Our post-game show is coming up. Name your player of the game. Take a look at the final numbers and preview what's ahead for both teams. That and more on our post-game show. Raymond Brown off a screen. 3, and he rattles it in. Brown with the triple. His 24th three-pointer of the season, and we're tied at 59. Grefsrud with the basketball now to the top of the key. Cole Tiedemann a 5'11 junior guard for the first action here tonight. Limke coming off a staggered. Sharif trying to get the ball. Nothing there as they're fronting him. Grefster right-hand side of Zepeda. Zepeda back to Grefster. Top of the key. Three-pointer is well short. And Machenbaker now with a double-double. We got him down for 22 points and 10 rebounds. Machenbaker to Braflat. Looking back door to Brown. Brown slips it up top to Clable. This for the lead. Three-pointer off the front iron. Clable went to go follow his shot. Proctor. Loose ball now to Clable. Clable up and Clable in. Clable with 14 points, and the Eagles regain the lead by 2. Limke takes a ball screen, drives to Grefsrud. Grefsrud looking on the inside to Zepeda. Zepeda with the basketball there. Dribble handoff to Limke. Limke shot fake, rips it through, tries to get by Brown. Shot, teardrop, no. Limke second shot. That is blocked by Clabo. Then Brown then in the front court here, leaves it to Proctor. Proctor up and Proctor good. Proctor in double figures with 11 and finished over Fode Sharif. Other end of the floor here for West Fargo. Packers will handle it. West Fargo has all 5 timeouts remaining. Sharif's going to go right to the 10, right-handed layup and score. Fode Sharif now with 27 on the night for the Packers. West Fargo trails it by 2. This one goes on the inside. Braflat and Sharif gets the foul. Trying to get the block shot. Fode will pick up his 4th, team's 4th. And going to the line and earning it was Kenan Braflat. Braflat will go to the line here with 7:45 left to play. You have Carson Hagerly and Parker Nelson slated to return here for Fargo Davies. That little slip screen worked well there as you have perimeter shooters. Braflat makes free throw attempt number 1. So Sharif will check out. Tiedemann will check out as well. Free throw attempt number 2 upcoming here, as this will be with Caden. Trying to get to 9 points on the evening. Misses that one, and the rebound comes down to Jaden Grefsrud. So still a 1-possession game here with 7:40 left to play. Grefsrud with the basketball drive. Kick to Zepeda on the baseline. Now to Limke. Limke goes hard to the paint. 10-footer, got it. Brett Limke with his first bucket here of the second half. He's got 13. West Fargo back within 1. Fargo Davies in the front court with Machenbaker here. Machenbaker takes a screen by Braflat on this 5-out offense and lost it on the pass. And this will be a foul here with Limke. Limke on the reach. Adam Polcheski does not like that call. Limke will pick up his 2nd, team's 5th. As Van Dam will check in. Inbounding the basketball will be with Machenbaker here. And a fresh 30 for Fargo Davies as they lead it by 1. Clabo with the basketball, lost it, and it goes to the West Fargo Packers. Turnover number 16 on the night for the Eagles. Excuse me, they're going to reverse it and say it actually was off of Hagerly. This will be an inbound now for Fargo Davies with Van Dam to Brown. Brown left-hand side to Clabo. Clabo rips it through, looking on the interior to Machenbaker. Machenbaker takes the ball screen there. Little hesitation, dribble, curl hop through the paint. Shot coming. That's off the front iron. Rebound goes to Brown. Brown with it to Proctor. Proctor tries to go over to Zepeda and does. Proctor with 13 points off the bench here for Fargo Davies. Hagerly the other end. Hagerly shot no, and there's a foul here. And West Fargo will get the ball back. Foul comes on Proctor, his 2nd, team's 4th. Proctor season high, 15 points the last time these two teams played on December the 21st, and he might surpass that or at least get there here with 6:46 left to play. Hagerly inside, and he gets undercut, and the foul comes Raymond Brown. Brown tried to slide in after guarding the inbounds, and Brown will pick up the foul. That's Ray's 1st, team's 5th. So both teams have 5 team fouls. Fargo Davies with 2 timeouts remaining. The Packers with 5. Next jump ball would favor West Fargo. Hagerly at the line, 0 of 2 tonight. Free throw attempt, 1 of 2. Now make him 0 of 3. Fode Sharif on the bench with 4 personal fouls here for the Packers. Sharif with 27 points tonight to lead the floor. Free throw attempt number 2 by Hagerly is in and out. Ball gets tipped around. Hagerly tries to get it, but it comes up with Clabo. Clabo with it, trying to go coast to coast, left-handed layup, and it's good. Clabo now with 16 points, and West Fargo brings up the floor, and there's a reach and foul on Brown. Brown will pick up his second, team sixth, and start looking at the clock for both teams. And you've seen 10 different Eagles play tonight for West Fargo. Seen 7 different Packers get some minutes here, and Zepeda will inbound it on the near sideline. Davies up by 5. Zepeda has to get it in before a 5 count. Does to Grefsrud. And he's trying to get open is Limke. Limke with the basketball. Hagerly posting up on the inside on Proctor. Kick out Parker Nelson. Left wing. Bang! The lefty got it to go. Parker Nelson's first points of the night. It's his 11th-3 of the season, and the Packers back within 2. Brown in the front court now, guarded there by Limke. We reach the 6-minute mark here in EDC basketball. Chase Miller and alongside Reggie Funk handling the camera with you here tonight. Clayball right-hand side with it, leaves it left hand. Now to Brown. Brown goes hard to the 10, right-handed scoop shot and good. Brown with 5 second-half points. And the answer for the Eagles. Parker Nelson crossing over. Clayball almost gets the steal. It's still going to be loose, but we have a kick ball. The question is off of who, and it looks to be off of Fargo Davies as Fode Sharif checks back into the game with 5:45 left to play as Limke will check out. Sharif again playing with 4 personal fouls, so if you're Fargo Davies, you have to imagine that it's going to be, the ball's going to go right to Sharif as we have a media timeout on the floor. We'll break with them. 5:45 left to play here in regulation. Fargo Davies leads it by 4 here on your live event.
If you want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community, then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, and Castleton, or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
Back here at Fargo Davies High School, the Eagles lead it by 4 for the number 2 rated team in the state in Class A boys basketball. Machin Baker with 22 points, 16 by Mason Clabo, and 13 for Alex Proctor for the Eagles. West Fargo 27 by Fode Sharif. You have 18 then with Carson Hagerly and 13 by Brett Limke. The Packers 10-3 on the season. Fargo Davies at 12-1. EDC boys hoops will have a doubleheader for you a week from tonight as well. It'll be West Fargo at home against Fargo South in Class A girls and boys basketball. 5:45 for game number 1. The boys will follow at 7:30. We'll have the coverage for you right here on your live event. That'll be next week between the Eagles, the Packers, and Fargo South. And check that. That game will be at Fargo South High School next week. So that game will be at Fargo South High School on the campus of the Bruins. Zepeda after the media time on the floor. West Fargo in the front court here to Hagerly. Hagerly looking on the inside. Now to Parker Nelson. Nelson goes behind the back, crossing over on Raymond Brown. Back to Hagerly here. Hagerly at the left wing. Shot clock down to 10. Hagerly goes to the 10. Left-handed layup and got it. Hagerly with 20 points. That matches a season high for the 4th time this year. Hagerly has scored 20 in a game. West Fargo right now down by 2, continues that man defense. Davies looking on the interior, right wing now to Clabo, shoots over Zepeda. Shot's going to be off the mark, ball gets tipped out. Hagerly with it to Grefsrud. Tiptoeing the baseline there for the Packers. This for the lead. Zepeda, left pocket 3. That one's off the iron. Nelson gets the rebound, and then it's going to be a turnover going the other way. Clayball bounce pass to Van Dam, who spins on the baseline, and then there's a reach and foul on Nelson, his 4th, and the team's 6th. Both teams with 6 team fouls. A tough one there for the Packers with Nelson picking up the foul, but also he got the offensive board, and that's one where he probably wanted a shot up there by Parker. Davies gets the 2 points. This one goes with Machin Baker. Ian now with 24 here on the night for the Eagles as they lead it by 4. Sharif, 3, got it to go. Time on the floor here with Adam Polcheski. Will keep it here. Polcheski now with 30 points, Sharif now with 30 points. That's his first 30-point night of his career, his second made three. He had 8 points in the first half alone. And in the second half, he has 4, make that 8 field goals, and his 4 of 4 from the free throw line for Fode Sharif. The 6'4 senior is showing out here at Fargo Davies. 72-71, the lead here for Fargo Davies with 4:33 left to play here in regulation. This game about 70 minutes old. That tipped off at 7:45 tonight. After the timeout by the Packers, they'll have 4 remaining. For Bart Manson and the Eagles, they'll have 2. Full court press by West Fargo. From here on out, both teams right now in the bonus. As Fargo Davies and Machenbaker brings up the floor, guarded by Cepeda. That gets thrown away by Grefsrud. Grefsrud looks to go coast to coast, left-handed layup and count it! Grefsrud hits the deck, and Jaden, the senior, now with 4, a chance to make a 5 at the line. The Packers with the lead. The foul on Braflad, his second, team 7th, as Limke comes back on the floor as Cepeda will check out. West Fargo slated to handle this one with Grefsrud at the free throw line. Grefsrud misses, trying to get the board with Sharif. Ball gets deflected out, and Raymond Brown will go out of bounds here, and it will be West Fargo basketball. Turnover here on the Eagles, their 17th. It's been a hustle for the loose ball here, as the refs will come over and double check that the shot clock is at 30 seconds in terms of a possession, or if it should go down maybe to like 26 or 27. As Sharif will get ready to inbound it, as the officials will come over, make sure the shot clock is good, and 1 second will come off here with 4:16 left to play in regulation. Sharif tries to inbound it, does to Hagerly. Hagerly at the high post takes a dribble, uses that up now to Sharif. Sharif with the basketball, rips it through right to left. Double team comes, Hagerly goes back door, nothing there. Parker Nelson will handle it between the circles. Now it's Grefsrud. Limke with the basketball. Limke rips it through, goes behind the back, lost it. Raymond Brown gets on the deck. Brown able to get the steal, then Brown gives it to Machenbaker up the floor to Proctor. Proctor with the two-handed jam. Proctor now with 15 points. The 8th turnover is costly on West Fargo as it goes back the other way again now with Fargo Davies. Brown up the floor, and there's a foul on Parker Nelson, and Nelson's night is done. Parker Nelson will pick up his 5th. Finished with 3 points in the game, 4 rebounds. Cepeda will have to check in, and it's a 1-and-1 opportunity here for Brown. Just like that, the momentum can flip on a dime, where it just felt like the last 5-6 minutes of gameplay was being West Fargo kind of basketball, and then all of a sudden Davies, boom, with the jam, with the steal. They get another steal, they go in transition, and Brown now for a 1-and-1 makes the first. Brown 6 points on the second half. Free throw attempt number 2 upcoming here for Fargo Davies as the Eagles try to get back up by 3. That one off the front iron, a rebound by Fode Sharif, his 5th of the game. Sharif in the front court now playing a 2-man game with Hagerly. Hagerly on the pick and pop to the top of the key now to Cepeda. Cepeda looking on the interior, a flare screen coming. Limke 3 for the lead. That one is going to rattle in. Brett Limke with 16 points, his 4th made 3 of the night. And the Packers now lead it by 1. These are 2 heavyweights going at it tonight in EDC boys basketball. Proctor in the front court. That's going to be in the hands of Machenbaker. Machenbaker, a little crow hop through the paint, finds Proctor behind the arc. 3-pointer is going to be long. Sharif tries to go up with it. He's got the basketball, and Sharif stole it away. He stole it away from Brown, and then now it's with West Fargo. Cepeda with the basketball to Sharif. Sharif inside to Hagerly. Hagerly kick out. Grefsrud 3-pointer off the iron, no. Sharif with another board. Backdoor cut to Limke. Left-handed layup for 2. Limke with 18 points. Sharif with the assist. The Packers are up by 3. Fargo Davies, where will they go? Machenbaker spins inside the paint over Hagerly. Got in a timeout by Bart Manson. Machenbaker with 26 now on the night to lead the floor for the Eagles with 2:24 left to play in regulation. It's the Packers 78, Fargo Davies 77. A win here for Fargo Davies. They would keep even with West Fargo Cheyenne, who plays Devils Lake tonight. If Cheyenne wins and Davies wins, they would have a 3-game lead over West Fargo. Then moving forward, the Packers in third place. If West Fargo wins, well, then all of a sudden they'd be a game behind Davies for second. It would stay at least bare minimum 2 back with West Fargo Cheyenne. So it's a large game in terms of the front end of the EDC standings. If Davies wins, Davies Cheyenne will be the 1 and 2 more than likely. It's just a matter of what seed line. If West Fargo wins, all of a sudden if the Packers take care of business down the stretch and maybe Davies falls once or twice, West Fargo could find themselves potentially in the second spot now. If it ended today, prior to this game, and West Fargo and Davies, for example, had the same record, Davies would own the head-to-head up 84-75 with their first win of the season by 9 points. So we'll see what happens here late. But right now, West Fargo leads by 1 with 2:24 left to play in regulation. After the timeout by Bart Manson of Fargo Davies, the Eagles will have 1 timeout remaining. West Fargo right now with 4. Possession arrow does favor the Packers here, and both teams are in the 1-1 bonus. Hagerly, after the timeout, Fargo Davies go a little zone defense, and they're going to look to trap on this 2-3 extended. Grefsrud with it now to Hagerly. Hagerly leaves the left-hand side of Fode Sharif. Packers to Limke. Limke looking on the inside, takes a bounce pass to Zepeda. Zepeda tries to get around the corner, uses up that dribble, pass across the paint to Hagerly, stolen away. Here comes Brown in transition, 2-minute mark here in regulation. Brown up top to Broflat. Broflat drives right to the 10, right-handed layup for 2. Broflat now in double digits with 10 himself, and the Packers see that lead go now to Fargo Davies. Grefsrud pass across the paint to Hagerly, and Hagerly somehow saved it, and it's a West Fargo possession. Hagerly with a season high now 22 points with 1:39 left to play in regulation. Timeout by Adam Polcheski. A timeout on the floor. The Packers lead it by 1 on your United Savings Credit Union scoreboard. That's got to work out here tonight. 159 points combined. West Fargo averages 80 on the season. Fargo Davies averages 87. As the West Fargo Packers and Fargo Davies, this is just kind of what you expect when these two teams play. Just a back and forth kind of basketball game. As two teams have had a lot of success in the EDC. Packers 22-3 a season ago. Fargo Davies 20-6, a state semifinalist. West Fargo won the state championship. Cheyenne was a state semifinalist, as well as the East at 3 of the top 4 teams in the state last season, with Minot High the state runner-up. And we have the ball out of Zepeda's hands after the little full court token pressure here. So Adam Polcheski said it back in our pregame show. You got a ball pressure Fargo Davies, and it's kind of pick and choose when you want to do it on the full court press to try to disrupt them enough. Now, if you do get called for a reach-in or a body foul, it will be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Fargo Davies at the line. Machenbaker, after the ball screen there, he's got it with Grefsrud here. Ian with the basketball, tries to get by Grefsrud, goes up and finishes for 2. Machenbaker now with 28 points on the night, 1 away from matching a season high. Grefsrud to Sharif. Sharif with the basketball, rips it through, goes behind the back, lost it. It's still on the floor. Sharif now to Zepeda. Zepeda with the basketball, drives to the right baseline, kick out to Limke. Limke, deep 3 on the way. That's good! Limke with 21 points. His 5th made 3, and the Packers are up by 2. Oh, that was from deep. Claybo, shot 16-footer, off the mark, no good. Hagerly, ball out of bounds. And to West Fargo. Ball out of Claybo, and it will go to the West Fargo Packers. Full court press by Fargo Davies. They don't have to foul with a 14-second differential. But we do have a officials warning here as Proctor went over the baseline, and as he did, try to interfere with Carson Hagerly, so they'll call it a delay. There's no foul. It's more of a warning, and if you do it again, then you're going to get a whistle for it. Timeout on the floor. Full timeout. Packers up by 2. We're back after this on your live event.
81, Park Christian School has been educating the next generation of leaders in the Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo area. Park Christian's thoroughly Christian education and commitment to academic excellence has resulted in a confident tradition of student success. Students graduate from Park Christian School strong in their faith and well prepared for the rigors of college, career, and relationships. Call 218-236-0500 to schedule your visit or go online to parkchristianschool.org.
Back here on your live event, Packers lead it by 2, 83-81 over Fargo. Davies-EDC boys basketball here, and it's been a dandy between the Packers and the Eagles. Back in the first half, Fargo Davies led 37-21 with 2:10 left to play. The Packers have never led by single digits. They've barely been up by 2, 3, or 4 points for the majority when they've had the lead. But right now, they have the lead with the basketball. We'll see how Bart Manson plays this one out. You can play defense. You don't have to foul. If you do foul, it's a 1-and-1 situation for the Packers. Zepeda ready to inbound here on the full court press. Braflat not playing the passer, playing more the cutter. This one goes to Sharif. In the back to Limke, now to Zepeda. Zepeda up the floor, finds Sharif. Sharif with the dribble, left-handed layup for 2. Sharif now with 32. It is a 2-possession game. Claybo working with it at the other end of the floor. Claybo rises, shot no. Claybo tries to get the ball back. Braflat does, and then we're going to have a foul here with Zepeda. Zepeda will pick up his second. That'll be the team's 8th, and a 1-and-1 here for Caden Braflat. Braflat on the night, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, has 7 rebounds, 10 points. As a substitution, Max Fowl, the 5'11 junior guard, will check in. As coming out will be Fode Sharif. Free throw attempt here for Braflat. Misses. Rebound Hagerly. Foul Claybo. Claybo picks up the foul. That'll be his second. Hagerly goes to the line shooting a 1-and-1 as that's the team's 8th. Hagerly 0 for 4 from the free throw line. 22 points, though a season high, as this has been one of those games where nearly everyone is breaking a season high record or even maybe career high. It is a 1-and-1 opportunity here with 22.8. If he makes both of them, it still will be a 2-possession game. Hagerly, first on the way, rattles out. Rebound by Braflat. Eagles still with the pulse. Machenbaker crossing over, gets the 10. Hang, shoot, shot, no. Braflat tip, timeout, Bart Manson. Braflat with the putback. He's got 5 points here in the second half, 12 in the contest. And a timeout by Coach Manson with 14.3 seconds left to play. That'll be the final timeout here for Fargo Davies. And if there is a jump ball, the possession would go to the West Fargo Packers. West Fargo 85, Fargo Davies 83. 14.3 seconds left to play in regulation. And Fargo Davies, again, with the timeout, West Fargo, they can run the baseline off the inbounds here. So see what Adam Polcheski draws up. Sometimes what you do is, run one way, bring a player from on the court out of bounds, pass it out of bounds, and then try to hit something deep down the floor just to shift the defense around a little bit. Or you might set a ball screen with the man inbounding it, running the baseline, and try to give yourself a better look to where the ball screen might be. So there's a number of different options here that you can go. Fargo Davies, if they commit the foul right away, it will still be a 1-and-1 opportunity for West Fargo. Brett Lemke is definitely a guy that you want to get the ball to, a really good free throw shooter. Fode Sharif on the bench. Jaden Grefsrud out there as well for the West Fargo Packers. Cole Tiedemann, the 5'11 junior guard, and inbounding it will be Zepeda. West Fargo with 2 timeouts remaining. If they can't get this in, they try to get it into Lemke, and Raymond Brown there got the hold. Brown got enough of the hold there. That'll be his third, team's ninth. And again, the man that you more than likely want at the free throw line in this situation if you're West Fargo is Brett Limke. 24 of 34 from the line this season. First free throw attempt of the game. He has 21 points. It's a 1-and-1. If he makes both, it goes to a two-possession contest. Limke, the senior, at the line for the front end. Missed. Rebound to Fargo Davies. Claybo will handle it. Claybo in the front court takes a ball screen, goes right to the tin, right-handed layup, no. Rebound gets tapped out right to Braflat, shot, no. Hagerly rebound with 1 second left to play. Braflat with the board, and it's going to go the other end of the floor here for West Fargo. And it's going to be 2 shots here for the Packers. Clock at 1 second remaining, and a timeout by head coach Anna Polcheski will keep it here as they're going to talk about it. 1 second is enough for a catch and shoot without question. It's even enough to where you can get the ball off the rim, take a dribble, and try to throw a three-quarter shot to try to go. Hagerly will be going to the free throw line where he's 0 for 5 on the night for West Fargo. So if there is a guy for Fargo Davies that you want at the line, it's Hagerly with those percentages. Now, the question for Coach Polcheski is, how do you run the defense here? It's simple. If Hagerly makes 2, this game's over. It's a 4-point game. If he makes 1 of 2, Davies can still tie, and if he misses both, well, then all of a sudden a prayer, Hail Mary 3-court shot could possibly go. If you're Davies and Hagerly makes the second, if he misses the first, you at least get the inbound to throw it up the floor. If he misses the second, then you got to take it right off the rim and go. West Fargo will see Hagerly go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 22 points on the night for Hagerly. A handful of rebounds. The NDSU football commit misses. It's still 2 shots here as the shot is off the mark, but it was 2 shots here, and the clock will have to go back to 1 second. But you kind of saw what the play design would be after a miss. You get a rebound, you get an opportunity, again, to dribble the ball and get up the floor and try to chuck one, and Claybo just kind of did that. You might get a second chance here with Hagerly. So right now, this to get it up to 3. Hagerly makes that one. Inbounds coming for Davies. Claybo in the backcourt. They can't get the shot off, and Claybo almost got it to go, but they waved it off, and that's going to be a final. The West Fargo Packers come in tonight to Fargo Davies High School and pick up the 86-83 win over the Fargo Davies Eagles. Fode Sharif with 32 points in this contest, and he would finish the game 6 of 7 from the free throw line with 2 made threes. Hagerly with 22 and Limke with 21. For Fargo Davies, they were led by Ian Mochenbaker with a double-double of 28 points, 10 rebounds. Mason Claybo had 16 on the night, and Kanan Braflat would finish with 12 and Alex Proctor with 15. It was an absolute dandy of a game. Your final again, the West Fargo Packers went by 3 points here tonight at Fargo Davies High School. Our post-game show is coming up next as the Packers improve to 11-3 on the season, 10-3 in conference play. Fargo Davies, they drop to 13-1 on the year and 12-1 in conference play. Post-game show is next here on your live event.
Degelman does put the effort and time into their employees by training them.
It's something that you think you couldn't do, but you can actually do it because you were trained to do it.
Once I got my confidence up, now I just feel pride.
I'm very proud to be leading the team that builds the toughest product in the manufacturing and agricultural industry.
My career is to be an esthetician because it allows me to branch out and do different things on different people every day.
My dream career is to be a cosmetologist, and that's because I enjoy putting a smile on other people's faces. Putting a smile on other people's faces also puts a smile on my face.
My dream career is to be a massage therapist because I get to help people every day.
My dream career is becoming a nail tech because there are endless possibilities and I can get really creative with it.
Let's get real. You're ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. So get ready for the University of Minnesota Crookston. With more than 30 majors, minors, and certificates, you'll earn a University of Minnesota degree in a close-knit community where faculty become friends and friends feel like family. And to get a degree that can make a difference, you don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, ready.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex, and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Incorporated. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
As we're back on our post-game show again, your final, the West Fargo Packers win it 86-83 over the Fargo Davies Eagles here tonight in EDC boys basketball. They snap a 3-game losing streak to Fargo Davies as well. On the boys side, Packers down by 7 at the half, come back and win. West Fargo scores 53 second-half points as they win it by 3 here tonight over Fargo Davies. Chase Miller, Reggie Funk with you as we get to our post-game show here, and there is a lot of numbers to break down in this one. Fargo Davies and West Fargo. We'll start with the Packers. They would finish with 11 turnovers, go 7 of 15 from the line. 11 made three-pointers here tonight for West Fargo with 6 players in the scoring column. For Fargo Davies, 11 of 17 from the stripe. For the Eagles, 6 players in the scoring column with 4 threes and 17 turnovers. Davies had chances late to try to tie, just couldn't come with anything in the last couple of possessions there. For the West Fargo Packers, individually led by Fode Sharif. Sharif on the night with a season and career high 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 12 made field goals for Fode Sharif. Carson Hagerly then with 23 points and 9 boards. You had Brett Lemke with 21 points and 5 three-pointers here. That is a three musketeer kind of evening for those guys as they would finish the game with 76 of the Packers' 86 points here tonight. Jaden Grefstrud would have 4 points and 6 rebounds. Parker Nelson with 3, and Caden Zapata with 3 points as well here for the Packers. Again, Fode Sharif, Carson Hagerly, and Lemke with 76 of the 86 here for West Fargo. For the Fargo Davies Eagles, they were led by Ian Mochenbaker with 28 points, one away from breaking his season high. Mason Claybo with 16 and 6. Mochenbaker with 28 and 10 points on the night. Alex Proctor with 15 points and 5 rebounds. He tied his season high against West Fargo the last time they played. Kanan Broadflat a double-double, 12 points, 12 rebounds. He owned the window early. Ray Brown with 6 points and Evan Van Dam with 6 points as well. So you had Fode Sharif and Carson Hagerly break season-high performances here tonight for the West Fargo Packers as they win this one by a final of 86-83. West Fargo now 11-3 on the season, 10-3 in conference play, a game behind Fargo Davies. The Eagles dropped to 12-2 on the season and 11-2 in conference play. Earlier tonight in the girls contest, Fargo Davies led wire-to-wire in the girls game as Fargo Davies won 80-45 over the West Fargo Packers. Ashton Safransky, Ava Wild, and Carly Franks with 15 points apiece. Jessica Walswick had 9 points in the game for West Fargo in that one. We'll take one more quick timeout. We'll put a bow on this one. Again, your final Packers win it by 3 over Fargo Davies.
You want help from a firm who has integrity, respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the benefit of the community? Then look no further than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys are dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, and Castleton. Or visit our website at www.onsteadlaw.com.
Since 1981, Park Christian School has been educating the next generation of leaders in the Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo area. Park Christian's thoroughly Christian education and commitment to academic excellence has resulted in a confident tradition of student success. Students graduate from Park Christian School strong in their faith and well prepared for the rigors of college, career, and relationships. Call 218-236-0500 to schedule your visit or go online to parkchristianschool.org.
It's now time to name your players of the game as we put a bow on this one between the Packers and the Eagles. West Fargo, Fode Sharif, without question. The 6'4 senior forward, Nick Carlson, not playing. The 6'4 senior forward, 15.7 rebounds, not in the lineup tonight. So Fode Sharif gets inserted, and he delivered 32 points in this contest for the senior. And he, again, from the field, would finish with 12 made field goals and go 6 of 7 from the free throw line for Fode Sharif. What a performance. And you could argue Hagerly and Limke because they have 23 and 21, but Sharif took over the game at certain times and particularly late. And the West Fargo Packers with Fode Sharif player of the game. Ian Mochenbaker, 17 of his 28 points in the first half. The Northern State commit showed you why he is someone to reckon with on any given night, and the senior continued to shine down the stretch as well. He would finish from the free throw line in this contest, 5 of 6 from the stripe, hit a couple of free throws as well as the Fargo Davies Eagles get the W tonight with the win as they Fargo Davies picks up the loss. But Ian Mochenbaker with a great game. We're going to take a quick timeout. We come back after this. We're going to hear from head coach of the West Fargo Packers, Adam Polcheski, as the West Fargo wins it by 3 here on your live event.
Welcome to Ada, Minnesota. There's much to offer for new residents and much to do once you're here. Medical facility, living community, and assistant living. A beautiful school campus providing quality education.